Hello, everyone. Welcome to the pre-show of the Codex podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger, and joining me again today is Sal the Slab Guy.
Coming to you from the Slavatorium.
Good to have you back, Sal. Sal, we've
Hey,
got,
thanks, man.
and today we because it has you on there. I'm like, I got to pick out a Venom story, one I've been waiting to read for a while. So
Yes,
tonight we will be reviewing King in Black.
King Black, baby. Issues 1 through 5. No spin-offs, just the main story.
Yeah, and I looked into spin-offs, and there's quite a few. Man,
There was a
the omnibus
lot.
The omnibus was like over 1,500 pages or
Yeah.
something.
The good thing about the spin-offs is they were not really needed to enjoy the story. So they were good. They were good, uh, like backstory development into the story. But we'll talk about that more in a minute. But they were not necessary to read 1 through 5 and go, man, that was a wicked story.
Yeah, that's sometimes cool with certain stories, like even like the One World Under Doom, which is going on now.
Yep.
Sometimes spin-offs, it's like they make it like, wait a minute, you kind of got to go with them. But then sometimes there's cool stories just on the side that are just kind of fun. Like one of the
Yep.
Red Hulk issues I read, and it was just kind of fun along with the story. But
Yep.
I don't think
Hey,
needed.
do me a favor, hit your chat button because I'm not. My chat's not loading over here, so all I'm seeing is a spinning circle.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, Richard, I
See,
don't want to hide messages.
I've got your back showing you, Richard, showing your comment. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so we've got some things going on today. Of course, since we have Sal, we will have the segment of Which One Is Slabbed. And then,
Yes,
of course, you'll be handling the Variant Insanity. We got Random
of
Panel of the
course.
Week. Somebody's
Yes,
touching Thor's hammer.
not
And,
me. I ain't touching that
maybe the F-listers might. They are the Rainbow Raiders.
Rainbow Raiders. That's crazy.
Yeah, we got a whole team joining the F-list today.
Yeah,
And of course, I got some comic book news. And just like usual, Wednesdays, if we got some stuff, there's not so much news. And I try to wait to hold out to send out the schedule. And I'm like, okay, I'm just sending it out. And then what do you know? Then today there's news and news. And then there's, trailers and stuff.
yep.
I'm like, okay.
There was like 4 or 5 different things that popped today that we were like,
Yeah.
oh, we should talk about that on the podcast.
And Richard is already making his pick for
Oh, he's already
TMNT.
guessing TMNT. All right, buddy.
TMNT, and he's going with 35 variants.
Wow. All right, Richard. Very good. Let me try that chat window again, see if it loads. It is not loading for me. That is just odd.
It's just teasing you today, Sal. I had to give you some problems. But at least I can take care of the chat and you can take care of
Okay,
some of that other stuff. I'm putting you to
not a
work
problem.
today. Also putting you to work today with the right or wrong, since you were the man with the 5
Yes,
statements when we
I
get to
do
that.
have 5 statements for you today. You're going to like them. You're going to like them.
Wrong.
Ooh.
I
Ah.
hate them. I hate those statements.
Good. That's
Sal, my pal, he can be evil sometimes.
right. That is right.
And then when it comes to some of the news, we'll get onto the news when we get to the actual show, but,
Yes.
it was like popcorn this, Little Caesars that, like, there's food stuff going on.
Right, 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 right. Yes, indeed.
And then Richard's calling you out, and he says, my comments are blocked by Sal.
No.
Because
I'm not blocking you, Richard. It's all good.
even though Richard says we have different opinions on Beast.
Richard, I'm looking out for you. Stay tuned next week for a special announcement for you and you only. Okay? Dan and I are actually looking out for you, but I think I got the thing that we need to get. But stay tuned for next week.
All right, speaking of things coming up, tomorrow, comic character of the week.
Comic Character of the Week.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Comic Character of the Week tomorrow is Captain Cold.
I see you're ready. You got your coat. You got a blue coat right next to you.
Got there. My daughter left it there since winter. Come on.
Well, it goes
But
perfect
yes.
with tomorrow with it being Captain Cold.
That's true. I'm going to leave it there for that. See what anybody says anything. But yep. Captain Cold. So it's going to be Gary, Dan, and myself. I think Jamie is not going to make it tomorrow night. Do some issues he's got going on. So not to worry. We'll cover for him. All things are good. And as Captain Cold is this Thursday. And then, of course, Saturday night. What's Saturday night? Comics Unleashed. Yeah, where we talk about our latest pulls and back issues that we picked up. I've got a lot of back issues coming this to me. You know what? I already got my Heroes Corner Comics pull, which got some great variants, which I'll show off. on Saturday, and then some other stuff coming in on Friday. So,
Nice.
yep.
And you know what, Sal? Would you excuse me as I turn around
Uh
for a
oh.
second?
Why are you turning? Why are you turning your back on me? How dare you?
I trust you,
The
Sal. I
audacity.
trust you because you know why? Today, before a little before the show,
Yes.
I'll just say it. It's mail
Mail
call.
call. Mail call day. What'd you get in the mail?
It's mail call for all seasons because I got
Yeah.
Superman for all
Nice.
seasons.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Would you believe one of my questions has to do with mail call?
Oh wow.
Not lying to you. Not lying to you at all.
I see you.
I was the
All
number five
together.
one. Hey, Mr. Keith, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mr. Keith.
Uh, it was my number five question, but I'll bump it to number one now since you got a mail call today. We'll talk about that.
There's a little bend, so that's why it's turned. I've got a bunch of comics on top of it. So
Okay, all right.
flatten that out.
How dare you destroy that comic? Comic abuse. Comic
I'm making it
abuse.
good. I'm flattening it out so it's good and not so
Yeah.
it's not bent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
Good
excited. I've
deal.
never read it, so I'm look at that. So it's the Alex Ross variant covers.
Yes.
All
Pick a
for
card.
me, right?
Pick a card. Any card's a winner. Of course, they're all for you, but I'm going to hold on to them right here for you for safekeeping.
Thank you.
Okay?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm nice that way.
And
And
smashed again.
Sonny, so just so you know, Sonny, there is a new variant insanity intro designed today. No one else has seen it. I'm the only one that does it because I just created it today. So you're going to be
forward to it.
shocked. Yep, shocked and amazed.
Yeah, so I always like to see the new intros. And speaking of new intros, right, there always had to be a new one because the show this time you are the guest. It's not Uncle Gary and Mighty Mike.
Mighty Mike.
The other day, was a character of the week. I think it was count character of the week, not Unleashed. It was count character of the week when Uncle Gary was saying he likes how his name showed up bigger.
Yeah, he did like that.
We're gonna have to change it up and make it that my name takes up the whole screen.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I might just have to, then maybe when they're on, I might just have to do it like this. Like, hey, everybody, Sonny Kruger with my guest.
Let me out of this box. Okay.
Yeah, just the guy in the little box right next to me is my co-host.
I forget his name. It's just a small portion of the show. This is my show I'm running here.
But always appreciating it, Sal.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're almost at a year. Everyone, this Monday on June 9th will be 4 years ago that the Codex podcast premiered.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so nice.
There. So next week we'll be doing a little celebration for it on the next week's episode. Yeah, going over some stuff.
How many episodes are we up to now on this?
We are in this is episode 156.
Nice. 156. That's awesome.
Yeah, 156. Even to we have certain things because, like I say, after 4 years, thank you, Richard. Congrats.
Yep. Yeah.
There's been a lot of stories of you. There's been a lot of segments that have come in and out. Some have stayed the whole time, and even too, I think I might pull out some of the old stuff from the beginning, show some of the guys. Because next week is set to be Uncle Gary and Mighty Mike, and I don't think they've seen some of the original old stuff that we had.
Yeah.
The show, we've come a long way.
Well, yeah. All the shows have actually increased exponentially.
Oh, yeah.
All of them have. But
we've got trouble in the comments.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Boosh.
What's happening, buddy?
Hey,
Hark the angels sing.
We were just talking about how on June 9th will be 4 years ago that the Codex podcast premiered, which was the first show of the Codex Station, which, it was originally called, the whole page was called the Codex Podcast. And then it became a whole station, and then one show became 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and now we've had over 10 shows.
Yeah. Yep. I'd really like to bring back my slab show because I got to do that again. I got to start bringing that back. Record some episodes. I don't think I'll do it live, but I'll record some slab shows.
Yeah, it'd be good to see it.
Because Dan wants to get on that too. So.
And Richard says, I'll just read it. Richard says, I give Codex 10 out of 10.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard. We do
Appreciate that, buddy.
You know what? I appreciate it so much. I'm giving that a star. I'm starring that comment.
How can you do that? I didn't know you could do that.
Just
I'm
I say,
still
I know some things about some tech too. You know.
As it will. Sorry, it's still spinning for me. That's weird. Okay, I'm not going to worry about. I'm not even going to worry about the chat. You got the chat, so I'm not even worry about it.
Yes, I've got it. And Richard says, here's to many more years. Yes, we plan to go on for a long, long time.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Keep this train rocking.
You'll see me change. You'll see us all change quite a bit. You know, was it last year or the year before? Time was flying by, but there was a time, even for a little bit, I shaved. And I was like, okay, I'm shaving this for a couple episodes. I was clean shaven.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need the hair here because I got nothing up here. I got nothing up here, so I need the hair down here to balance it out. You know.
I'll be in the same position soon. I'm just hanging out. I'm just enjoying the days I have it until it's gone.
Yep. Indeed.
Man, since when does Sonny's hair become just like Superman's? He even got the little thing down there. That's not a wig. That's my real hair.
You know what? I need to ask you 2 questions, and you don't have to answer them on the air if you don't want to. But I need to ask you 2 questions. One, can you get me a side gig where I can jump as an extra into a movie? Because I want to do that. It's on my bucket list. I need to do that.
Sal, let me send you. I will send you some info to help you with that.
Thank you. And 2,
send it your way.
Have you ever done voiceovers?
Yes, I have. Let me look at that. Booge is spreading gossip. Saying Beast and Avenger is a deviant. Slander, Booge. Slander.
Yes.
And you know what? That doesn't get a star. If I can give it a thumbs down, I would give it a thumbs down.
Booge, come on, man.
But so I have done voiceover.
Yeah.
I've done a few like stop motion stuff, and I've worked my way up. It was Guy, it was Cop, it was this. But a few months ago, I voiced the Red Skull.
That's right. You did tell me that. And I did watch that one.
Prop Josh Purity's his Avengers one with the Red Skull. So I did that, and then I did one also with Biron Zemo. So I don't know when who released the episode of it. But so I went for a few, and then of course working my way up. I'd love to do more, but so done some voiceover.
All right, very good.
And every now and then in my show in a series about a series, sometimes you'll hear other things, and it'll be other people talking, or maybe there's a part when Buck is watching TV and you'll hear another voice. Sometimes it's other people, and every now and then it's my voice adding in somebody.
Nice. I've been doing some voiceovers for the Comic Character of the Week intro sometimes. Like I did Black Manta. I did it for a couple of other ones, and I tried to do it for when we did Billy Butcher for The Boys, but I could not get the British accent good enough. It was horrible if you ask me. But I said it to Dan. He's like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. And he tried it. And he's like, this is worse. So I don't. He goes, just don't do it this time. And I'm like, okay.
Bruce, this kind of looks like Morty with a beard. Weird. Maybe I'll play the role one day.
Yeah.
And but who knows? Maybe one of these days I'll do some voiceover for that, and we'll just see if anybody can catch on to it.
Yeah. Sounds good. That sounds good.
Right. Before you know it, I'm gonna get my big Sal. We sent me 10 pages. This is all for the intro. And you'd be like, yeah, it's a bit shorter this time.
But it's worth it. It's worth it.
And hey, be like, okay, I'm adding this to my. I don't care what it is. I'm adding it to my resume. Voiced, whoever it is.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
Sal, are you guys really? A big Sal, are you guys really doing an episode on Heavy Flow, or is this just a joke?
That's just a joke, because if there ever comes a time where that's the character of the week, I will be out that week.
Yeah. So Mr. Keith says, don't do the Zemo or Red Skull voice right now. Disney would take the video down. Yes. I'll save that, especially because before, when I actually did it, I was studying like German accents and if I was to be, like obviously, yes, they're speaking English, so I really was practicing it and studying. And I haven't studied in a while on my German accent.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
maybe another day. But like I said, if and hopefully, I should say when that Biran Zemo video comes out, I'll let you know. I'll keep everyone updated. Like you could see if you see if I sound like the character, or if you're like, yeah, that's Sunny. I completely know that voice.
I completely know your voice, but I still like what you did.
Nice. And then, of course, there's a difference. You all do hear me. You have over 150 hours worth of hearing me speak on here.
Right. It's like when I found out that Mark Hamill voiced the Joker. And then all of a sudden, it was like a switch. And I'm like, oh, yep, I can hear his voice. I know I can recognize Luke Skywalker when he's talking.
Yeah, there was one like for such a long time, like I didn't know until, and I was like, really? Luke Skywalker does a voice of Joker? Yeah. So there's a bit of voice acting for him.
Yeah.
Sail, my pal. Are you ready to go on to the actual show?
Yeah, but do we want to shoot some business out of the way? Like,
sure. Let's tell some people how they could win some stuff first. But
let's talk about how they can win some stuff first. All right.
Okay, then we'll tell them how they could find.
Okay, so we don't have a video for that yet, but if you go onto Instagram or TikTok, or probably find it on YouTube as well. What it is a video about how to do our June giveaways. I believe there's a Moon Knight issue being given away on this one. It's really good. Head on over. Yeah, actually, it is
for solo story, right?
Yeah, it's for solo story. So yep. Go over to YouTube. There's a short for it. Check it out. You got to enter in on Instagram or TikTok. It's the same rules as last time. You got to show you're subbed, or if you're automatically a subscriber, you're automatically entered. And of course, if you tag one person, you get one extra entry. If you tag 5 people, you get 5 extra entries. If you tag 100 people, you get 100 extra entries right there. So go ahead and do that, and make sure we get this channel spread out across the globe.
Yeah. And then also tell them how they can find you.
Yes. Sorry, I went to that first because I thought that's where you were going. But I'm always on YouTube. When I'm not on YouTube, I'm actually on the street corner begging for money because I need it. But you can find me on YouTube under Sal's Comic Corner, also known as the Slabatorium. And on Instagram, I am the Slab Guy 77 there. So go check me out. I got some really cool unboxings, and I show off my wall. The latest video I did for my channel was I actually changed out my wall, and I showed you a close-up of the actual J channels that I put up there, and what I did and how I put it up there. So, check it out.
I was quickly trying to go on our Instagram, trying to find the codex for the video, but yeah.
But also, you want to go over and check out codexstation.com. You can meet the team, buy some merch, so much more there. You can see all our stuff, all our bios, and all our stuff. You get a nice sticker like that, or that sweatshirt that's in the back there. Is that a sweatshirt or a jacket?
A hoodie.
A hoodie. Yeah. All right, then. But to find us, you got to go on the socials, and all you got to do is type in at the Codex Station. Boom! You'll find us everywhere. So head over there and check it out.
Yeah. All right. And if you want to find me, you can you go on Google and type in Sonny Kruger.
You don't have a card, do you?
No. Jamie, I know that's your fault. But you can go on Google and type in Sonny Kruger, and it should lead you to me.
I'm going to rectify that. You're going to have a card by next week. Okay.
All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. So I'll just have to say it. Like I said, you can go to Google, Sonny Kruger. It will lead you to quite a few things with me. And then on Instagram, I am Kruger Sonny. And on Wattpad and on TikTok, Sono the Writer.
Yes, definitely. Check out his series about a series. It's a very good story. I loved it. So go check it out.
Thank you. Yeah. And looking towards somewhere late in the summer to release the finale. Finish it off.
Nice. Can't wait for that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Right. Good thing we got the business out of the way.
Yeah, good thing we got the business out of the way. Are you ready to kick off this show with our kick-ass intro?
Yes, I am. Let's see it.
All right, here we go.
I want my words big. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, sir.
so again, in case you didn't know, hello everyone. Welcome to an episode of the Codex Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. I'm joined by my co-host today, Sal, the Slab Guy from the Slabatorium.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for having me on, Sonny. I know I'm not on the podcast all that much, but I do enjoy my time with you.
And I always enjoy having you here, Sal. And today, and now we've got you. I've been wanting to read this story, and then I'm like,
Yep.
who's the perfect guy to review it with? It's Sal, the Slab Guy. So today we're reviewing The King in Black.
King in Black issues 1 through 5.
That's right, 1 through 5. Not the full-on omnibus.
Right.
Yeah, with the over
We
1,500.
we didn't cover the offshoots. We only covered the main storyline, which is still fantastic.
Yeah, and we got a comment. Look at that. Somebody says,
Oh,
"Sonny's
what?
so cool." Wow, I agree.
Please. Oh, come on.
I'm starting that.
Yeah. Come on. You're
And
killing
look who else we got. We got Liz. Hey,
Hey,
Liz.
How you doing, Liz? Good to see you.
Good to
I
see
will
you.
see you Sunday, Liz, if you're going to be at the shop on Sunday.
Nice. Gonna pick up some comic books. Always sounds like a good time.
Yep.
But yeah, so today, like I said, we will be reviewing The King in Black. We'll be having a whole team join the F list with the Rainbow
Yes.
Raiders. We'll be
Rainbow.
having in a random panel of the week. Somebody's touching Thor's hammer, and somebody else wants to turn.
Not me. Not touching the
And
hammer.
of course, since we've got Sal, that means we have a segment of Which One Is Slabbed, which Sal will have us guess which 3 are slabbed. I'm also
Yes.
putting Sal to work more with some other stuff today too, like Variant Insanity,
Yep.
and of course, Right or Wrong, and he will be the man with the 5 statements.
Yes, sir.
But let's get us started off with the news and the rundown.
Run down. Here you go, buddy. Bam.
Batman is getting a new logo, but the thing is,
What?
Marvel might even be the first to show it. It depends on what's going to happen on when, if DC, with there being some delays, if they're going to beat Marvel to it, because Marvel, as we know, last time we mentioned how Batman will have a crossover with Deadpool. They
Yep.
could turn around and be the first one to post Batman's new logo, but also there's some news with the Black Panther, and people are getting pretty angry about it because I don't want to get too away, but that there's going to be a new Black Panther, someone is going to take the mantle, and he's a white man.
Oh,
So
that's trouble.
So we have trouble ahead, and and he doesn't seem very nice when I looked into it. He doesn't seem like a nice one either.
Yeah.
But we've got some other stuff going on.
I got that picture of that Batman logo. You want me to throw that up?
Let's get after the run through. Let's focus on that.
All right, sounds good.
Some may even say it's a fantastic logo. Some might not. But speaking of fantastic stuff, quite a bit going on with the Fantastic Four. First, there was a Little Caesars box, and it revealed a change in Reed Richards' outfit. I was like, when I was looking through all the notes, and I was like, man, this is a slow week in the news when we're talking about Little Caesars pizza boxes. But then more news came out, and there's a new Fantastic Four trailer that came out today.
Yep.
And
I've
then
not
also,
seen it yet. I'm trying to hold off. I haven't seen the Superman trailer or a Fantastic Four trailer since the Super Bowl.
yeah, so with this Fantastic Four, I won't spoil it for you. I'll just say that somebody's in this one. Somebody hasn't been in the others.
Ooh.
They haven't been in the other trailers, so they're in this trailer. Okay. And I'm not going to give it away. Like I said, sometimes we like to chat about things, but I'll let you see it for yourself if you want to see it.
It's me. I'm in it. It's me. I'm in it.
Now we know why you missed the last time you were going to be on. I was like, where's
Right.
Sal?
So,
Dan's like, I'll step in.
Spoiler, it's going to be the Fantastic Five at the end of the movie.
There you go. Sal the Slab Guy right there. But other stuff, everybody, have you ever dreamed about eating out of Galactus's head?
All the time.
If so, your dream may come true because popcorn buckets are coming out, and one is of Galactus's head, and you can eat popcorn out of his head. Another one's of Herbie, and another one is of the Fantastic Car.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So, okay, Sal, would you like to show us that new Batman logo?
Yeah. Got it right here. Let me pop that up on the screen. Boom.
There you go. It kind of reminds me of Nightwing there because with the blue and black.
It does. I like the shadowing of the effect of the character on this one. As for the logo itself at the top, I'm okay with it. It's better than the Absolute Batman. I did not like the
Yeah,
Absolute Batman logo whatsoever.
yeah, same
So
here.
this is a much better improvement, I think. Uh, I'm not sure what it is about the text, but the text is kind of throwing me off a little bit, but not enough to say ew. So I'm gonna say yes, I like it, and I'll deal with it.
I'm gonna say fine. Like I said, with the text of how it says Batman, I'm trying to remember. Does it remind me of like the Brave and the Bold kind of, or is it more like 50s, 60ish style? Something that seems a bit more campy.
Yeah, it's campy. I think that's right.
Yeah, so I'd say has a little bit of a campy look, but I said not the worst. Even Boosh says, okay, that's not bad. Yeah, I'll say not bad. I like the more traditional Batman logo though.
Yeah,
Like more, yeah, with the bat, more the yellowish.
right, right.
Yeah, but there you go. And yeah, so that's the thing that there's being some delays in Batman. So there's Batman Volume 4. It's set to come out with issue number 1,
Yeah.
but they're saying it's looking like it may come out in September. But who
Whoa.
knows? Will it beat the Batman Deadpool
Deadpool.
crossover? If not, people say imagine that. Imagine if Marvel is the one to release the new Batman logo before DC.
Right.
And Boo says much better than when Punisher got a new logo.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I agree.
horrendous. I hated that one from the get go.
Yeah. And then Liz is kind of like me. Yeah, says, yeah, it reminds me of the
Yep,
60s show one. Yeah.
yep,
I
yep.
was getting the same vibe.
Liz caught those on reruns because she's so young. She's like, what, 22, 23? So she caught those on reruns, I'm sure.
Yeah. Same here. We're
Yeah, right. You
a
too.
couple of people
I
in
saw,
our early
I
20s,
saw
couple
them
of
when they
people in our
first came
early
out.
20s.
Yeah, I saw when they first came out. So, yeah, we'll go
Nice.
with that. All right.
And
So
then
what's next? What do you want to show
Keith said
next?
too much like Nightwing. I love Nightwing, but
Yep.
it's too much like him. Even I said it reminded me of Nightwing a bit.
I agree, Mr. Keith. I agree. I agree.
All
All
right,
right.
so
So what's next? What's next?
should we take on some Black Panther?
I but I don't have any Black Panther stuff loaded.
Nothing to show.
Okay, talk
We
about
can
Black
just
Panther.
chat.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give too much away because the article I was reading was saying spoilers, especially
Yeah.
for comic that's not out yet, not gonna be out for a few months.
Yeah.
So I'll just say that there's new
It's not.
Black Panther comic book coming out, and people are not so happy that someone is taking the mantle, and it is also a white man, so he obviously looks nothing like T'Challa
Yeah.
or other characters who have had held the mantle of Black Panther.
You know, I when you put that in the chat, I kind of made that joke because I didn't read the article and I just made that joke. It's a white guy, right? That type of thing.
I knew that.
But
I thought you were drunk too. Yeah, and then when I read it, too, I was like, oh,
but oh wow, so I didn't know what world was.
yeah. Uh, Kedema is his name, or Kedema, yeah. So Ketema, and it is set to come out in Marvel's The World to Come #1.
All
Yeah,
right.
and it is more of a story about T'Challa, more towards his end, like he's older, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of flashing back, and so I don't think
Right.
it's gonna. I think it will. I think it's in Elseworlds. I'm pretty sure it's in Elseworlds with what
Yeah.
I've seen, but
I don't
still,
know.
it's
It
gonna
just
get people talking.
doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. But I guess they're doing it for the shock factor. I think. But a white
And
Black
then,
Panther does not work for me.
yeah, I like T'Challa the way. Yeah, I know, like obviously, there's been other characters. T'Challa's not the only Black Panther, but
Yeah.
that's I kind of like him. And it, it will be by Christopher Priest and Joe Quesada.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
ones doing, yeah.
Who is an amazing writer? I actually met him at the Big Lick Comic Con, not this past one, but I think a year ago. I just met him and shook his hand. I was out of money, so I didn't buy anything from him at the time. So he's a great guy. I did talk to him for a few minutes, so that was pretty awesome.
And like I said, I think one thing is it's Elseworld, so it is more you can kind of have fun with it.
Yep,
I don't think it's gonna be
yep,
canon, and I believe what I see, it seems like the new one is set to be a villain. I think he's
yes,
gonna be a villain, so I don't think
yeah.
it's like I don't think he's gonna stick. I
Well,
think
I'm
it's
glad
just
it's Elseworlds then. If it's Elseworlds, then I can tolerate it a little bit better. So,
yeah, I think so, and I hope so too. Yeah,
yep, yep,
it
yep.
seems like going back and changing certain things. So I'm like, okay, don't. And before we move on, I do want to say with that Batman story, the Batman Volume 4, #1, it is set to
Yeah,
be by Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez.
yes, yes, indeed.
Yeah, but so that's it. The new Black Panther story. We'll see what it is, how it is, and Yeah, so already they knew to get people talking, and yes, people are talking, and not so happy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like I said, I think it's a story to say. I'm really interested to see how it goes. I don't want to immediately say no.
Right.
For me, I like to always see T'Challa as
I'll,
Black Panther, but
I'll give it a check out, but I'm not going to be waiting on bated breath for it. How's that sound?
yeah. And then he gets venomized, and you got to get all the variants.
Everybody gets a symbiote. You get a symbiote. You get a symbiote. You get a symbiote.
Oprah symbiote.
Yeah.
Oh man. Let's talk about pizza.
Oh,
Let's talk about pizza and popcorn.
Yes.
But yeah,
Pizza
so
popcorn.
the whole thing with the Little Caesars was that there's a picture for Fantastic Four, and then people notice that the outfit on Reed Richards is a little bit different from the one that's appearing in the movie. It's like the one in the
Right.
movie is pretty much all blue, and this one kind of has some whiteness to it.
Right. Well, I thought it was the other way around. I thought they had some white. They all had the ones with the white caps on the shoulders, but then his was all blue.
Yeah. So and then
There
this
you go. Come
picture,
on.
this picture is showing a little bit of white, and then, but it could just be it's Little Caesars. They could. They can make a mistake. It's not like it's the comic. It's not like it's a comic book or anything.
Right.
So.
Right.
Like I
But
said,
there was a
the news is starting off very slow this past week until today.
so there was Dan's talked about this one. There was a thing where a spoiler was done for a character like an action figure that came out with the action figure before the movie came out, which spoiled the. It was Dick Tracy. It was Dick Tracy. They spoiled the Madonna's character. She was wearing the faceless mask. I forget the character's name, but the character came out. The little action figure came out showing her as that character. Which was the whole twist of the movie because you didn't find that out to the end on Dick Tracy.
So, like you could tell that would have kind of been understandable if somebody broke that one.
Yeah,
that figure.
Right.
I wouldn't have, but
No.
somebody else could have been. Yeah, but yeah, with them too with the popcorn stuff.
Oh yes, okay. I got a picture for that. Let's show that. Huh?
Let me see Galactus's head. There we go.
Head
Giant
of
Galactus popcorn vessel.
Oh my
Steer
goodness.
his head around, eat out of his
I
head.
need
Like you're eating his
sustenance.
brain.
Yep. I need sustenance to survive. How's this popcorn? That'll work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go. Sal, do you think you're gonna buy the Galactus head?
Yes.
Did you get the Wolverine one before for Deadpool?
I did not. The place was out of it. I did get the Captain America Shield one, which I did show off, but
Yeah,
I did not get the Wolverine or the Venom one. For that matter, they didn't have it in stock when I went for it. So, yep. There's Galactus's head.
Bougie likes it and says pretty cool popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
I think the Herbie one looks pretty cool because Herbie, like I said, if you're watching, you can read that it does say could hold large popcorn, large drink, and candy, and can
Plus
store
a place
all
to
three.
store all three.
Yeah, so
That's amazing.
I think the Herbie one is a little bit cooler.
Little side note: you're going to have to buy an extra ticket for the seat that it needs to sit in because.
Yeah, because right, how big it is. Unless you're going to hold it with you the whole movie or put it on the floor. But I don't know. I know people have been misbehaving in theaters lately. I don't know if you really want to put it on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Key says every time you reach into the bucket, the head should scream.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
That would be
someone
funny.
trying to watch the movie, you just hear screaming constantly.
Ah! My brains!
Can you stop eating popcorn? This is a theater.
What if you get to like the end of the bucket of the popcorn? Let me go back to it really quick here. And then you're like, you got like this, type of thing. You get all the popcorn out,
Just, it would make less than a mess of all those people what they were doing with the Minecraft movie. Did you hear about that? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But also, we got a fantastic car.
Let's see that fantastic car.
It's a popcorn container as well.
Yeah, so there you go. I think that's the least exciting out of the three.
Yeah, it is.
I think Galactus is kind of funny. You could say things like eating out of a head, you're holding a head, and then Herbie, I think the coolest one where you can do so much with it. Like
I'm gonna have to see if I can. I don't like Herbie, but I would get this because I just need to have that up on my wall or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I more just want to see it too, like,
Yeah,
just to see how well
I
does it
just
really work holding everything.
I gotta see how big it is. If it holds a drink, a popcorn, and a candy, and a spot for all three. Let's pull that back up here a minute. So you gotta imagine one of the arms is probably gonna hold something. I bet the head is probably hollow for the popcorn, right? And I
Maybe,
bet
maybe
that little blue area right there is probably or this little where the four is. That's probably the little like a dropout door
yeah,
for candy.
maybe yeah, maybe that's where you could fit the popcorn. So maybe like I would just say stomach. Maybe the body's more popcorn.
Yeah,
Maybe the head is the little
drink.
candy, and maybe the hand is meant to hold the drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's this little antenna right here? Herbie doesn't have this antenna. I bet you that's the straw.
Oh, okay. I would wonder, like, if I was pouring a drink in there, would it spill all over him, suddenly make it like
Yeah,
super sticky?
that's not good for a robot. Let me tell you
Yeah.
that much.
And Mr. Keith, that's a good one. Yeah, they missed out on a chocolate fantastic bar. Maybe next time. Yeah. Now I want that. Now I want that bar. And I still want those old X-Men ice cream, the ones who was half cookie,
Yeah.
and then you would have a character that was on there was like a cookie. The inside was vanilla chocolate, and then the other side was like a bit of chocolate, and it was the best. And it
So
says maybe
this
you're supposed to sit on the floor in front of you.
maybe, maybe so. And this holds a large popcorn where Herbie does not large drink. Oh, large popcorn,
It is,
large drink,
yeah,
and candy. And the car was
it's
just a
popcorn.
popcorn container.
It fits like
Save,
10.
save. Fed 10 kernels.
Yeah.
Done. So
Yeah.
those large popcorns, man, they're like a good, bucket, you might say.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. All right.
all right.
Think
And
we
then
got
Mr. Keith
enough
says,
of
can I use Herbie to secretly bootleg the movie?
that. I bet you could.
It
I
would be
bet you could.
Yeah, it'd be a bit poetic, I'd say, right? Using Herbie for that. And Boo says Sky Bar,
Skybar.
a chocolate bar. Now you guys got me all thinking about chocolate.
Oh, I was thinking something else when he said Skybar. I was thinking alcohol. I was thinking Jameson and ginger. Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know. I don't ever drink, but I do think about chocolate.
I drink
Something.
occasionally. I drink occasionally,
Chocolate
especially
and ice
during
cream is my
especially
thing.
during hockey playoffs. I drink, so we'll see.
How this playoffs going? They're almost done. I want no basketball.
Yeah.
I'm a
Okay.
basketball fan, almost done. So
Actually, the Stanley Cup finals start tonight. Actually, Edmonton and Florida.
all right. Who are you rooting for?
Edmonton, because I hate Florida. Hate Florida.
So
And if my brother
you're
is
ready to
watching
break
right
that
now,
drink.
if my brother is watching right now, he's not a Florida fan. He's rooting for him. He's really a Boston fan. But Marchand from the Boston Bruins got traded to Florida, so he's rooting for Florida so that Marchand can hold the cup. There's no such thing as cup privileges right now. Just tell you right now, there's no such thing. And I want Edmonton to win because I hate Florida. So there. Okay? There's your hockey talk for the night.
All right. And for tomorrow is basketball for me. I'll be
There
watching
you go.
the Thunder and Pacers, but my Mavericks aren't in there, and they got rid of Luca, so it has not been the best year for basketball for me.
Sorry.
Thank you, but you know what? Some might say this. What is Dan? We got Dan. We got trouble.
Oh, Dan!
The only thing
There it
Sonny
is.
thinks is the tears of his broken
toys. Oh
Dan,
my God, no! Ah!
that's insane
Right,
talk.
Uh-oh.
That is
Insane.
insane talk.
Did you say insane? I think
Mhm.
we gotta go to very insanity now. Are you ready for this brand new intro?
I hope it's insane.
I hope so too. Here you go. Sorry, I was too going back to my club days.
Bravo, Sal.
Thank you.
All right, so before we get into Variant Insanity, Booge is spreading more lies, singing grinds their bones to make his bread. Don't know what I was talking about.
That's harsh, Sonny. That's
Don't
harsh.
know what you're all talking about.
Uh,
But everyone, you know the way Variant Insanity goes. And
that's right.
Sal is the man today. Yes, he is the man who made Variant
All right.
Insanity. So,
Yep.
Sal, I think it's been around for about a year or so. A happy 1 year anniversary to Variant Insanity.
Yeah, that's about right. That sounds
You
about
brought
right.
it onto the show. It stuck on.
It did. It did. All right, folks, you know the drill. We got a variant this week that had the most, a comic book that had the most variants this week, and you have to guess what it is, and also the number of variants. So, without further ado, Richard's already chimed in with TMNT, so chime in and let us know your picks for the variant insanity of the week. And I get this information straight out of the CLZ app, so if you have that, you could actually win every week. So,
Yeah.
Tony, what do you guess?
Richard was earlier in the pre-show had said TMNT, and before I even got on today, I'm like, I'm going with TMNT.
All right, very good, very good. My chat is still not working, so I don't know who's saying what. But Sonny, if you could put those up there as they pop up.
Let's see. Dan had more lies, says, and runs their fat to make his soap. Talking about toys, and then Boo says, and both their heads to make his cheese. Okay, back to the show. Liz has also said TMNT.
I think we need a segment of just what you do to your toys. That could be a good 20-minute segment. This is Sunday on Tuesday with his toys. You're there be grinding at the base. Yeah, man. This will be my toothpaste for next week. Sorry.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I disagree. And Boosh says Space Ghost. Well, first he says Dan. Okay, Boosh says Space Ghost. Dan says Thundercats.
Thundercats. That's always a safe bet. Huh?
So,
all right. So is that good? Do we want to do the countdown or?
I say we do a countdown. And
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. The cover of this week that has the most variants is an Uncle Gary special. That's right. Heat Seeker Exposed. Number 1 had the most variants this week. And I went through them, and there was a couple of juicy ones there that I'm sure Uncle Gary would love to have. You know?
Right.
Yeah. So you want to take a guess on the number of variants for this one?
Earlier, also in the pre-show, where is it? So I say because it was very early on when Richard had said TMNT, and he had went with 35 variants.
Okay, 35, all right.
Well, I'm going with 33 for Heat Seeker.
Here we go with 33, huh? Going the Price is Right attitude, huh? Closest glove going over. Dan, how about you? Come on. Give us a guess. Liz, you too. Mr. Keith, come on.
I think they're a bit, I think many are distracted by that cover.
Took me a few minutes to get
going with 12.
Liz is going with 12. All right. All right. All right. Should we do the countdown then? Dan's probably busy, so
we're all right. Dan, he is jumping on. He's saying, he's saying Dan. 32.
32. All right. All right.
All right.
All right. Here we go. Right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Who says 24?
3. All right.
Mr. Keith says 42.
There we go. All right. Very good. Very good. I held at 3 because we got some of the, extra ones in there. 3, 2, 1, and. All right. The number of variants for this one is 20.
All right. So nobody got it.
Nobody got it, but let me throw up a new card here because I have this. There we go. I decided to throw this in to give you a little more information about it.
All right. And would you like to read it to everybody?
Sure. The writer is Charles Adari. Penciler is Ace Continuado. Artist is Ace Continuado again. Inker is Juan Castro. Colorist is, I can't pronounce this one, Asifer. Robin, and then letterer is David Leach. Cover artist is Stanley Archer Lau. who is awesome. He's awesome, by the way. And I apologize if I mispronounced those names in any shape or form. So thank you.
I think you did pretty good. Looking at it, I would agree that that's how they pronounce it. Well, at least it's a good try.
Yep.
Yeah. So Heat Seeker.
So I got to put the number of issues, variant numbers, like over here on the corner or something like that. I forgot to add that there.
And where are they from? Titan?
This is actually hard case.
Okay, hard case. Okay, because
yeah, it is Titan. It is Titan. Titan
okay.
books. Yep, it is Titan. So there you go.
Quite a cover.
There we go with our variant insanity.
That was. Can we see that cover one more time?
What's the full cover right here? Look at that.
There we go.
There we go.
There
there
we
we
go.
go. We can leave that up for the rest of the show.
Great artwork. We've got space. You can see the both of us.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, mine went the gutter there for a quick second. We can't have that. We'll get demonetized and canceled for sure.
Another time we'll have an uncensored one. And hey,
we need to have an uncensored show. Codex Uncensored.
Oh yeah. And at least you got Comics Unleashed coming up over the weekend, which is later.
Yeah, that's true. But we tone it down for there. We do tone it down there too. I mean, we need a strict 18 above plus type of show. Like you got to be ID'd to come in the door type of thing,
And Bush is more like Meat Seeker and that get up.
Yeah, you might be right. I'd be right.
She's just teasing us all. She's just teasing everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
I think.
Do you like the Do you like the new card? Do you like the new card like that, or do you want to prefer just the actual issue?
I mean, it was good to have it like the issue, but then it was cool at the end to read everything about it. So yeah.
Right. Okay, that's a good idea. I'll make sure I add that into the loop, Liz.
All right, Sal. Now it's time to put those babies away and to take out your five
questions
because it is right or wrong.
All right, 5 statements, and we're going to do one is slabbed after the 5 statements.
Oh, you want? You're right. What am I talking about?
We could do one is slabbed after right or wrong. That's fine.
Oh, all right, then let's do it. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sonny's there going, he screwed up the schedule on me. I had this in the schedule.
Let me write it before we skip over. I don't want to miss it. So.
All right, so right or wrong, right?
All right, let's do right or wrong then.
All right, right or wrong. Question number 1. Since I have that mail call question, I've got to, do for you. So I said mail calls are like Christmas morning every single time. Right or wrong?
Right. They are. Even when you know what you're going to get, there's a little nervousness because is it going to be what if somebody sent you the wrong comic book? What if it comes in bad shape? So there's a little nervousness, but once it comes out and you feel it and you have it in your hands,
right?
Awesome.
Seeing a picture is not like seeing it live, because you go to a show, you hold the book, you're like, yeah, this is the one I want. But you order online and you see the picture of it, you're like, okay, I'm not really holding it, so I hope it's all, in one piece. But yeah, it's like Christmas morning every single time. Who says number one's right?
Yeah. So like that Heat Seeker comic, we have to get a physical copy of it.
Yeah, we got to hold that in our hands for sure.
Yeah, Mr. Keith also says right. All right.
Question number 2.
Number 2. Dan Kelly said wrong for number 1.
Ooh. Right. Look at him going against the grain, huh?
What a rebel. All right. Number 2.
He also sent me a message for you to read his comment. What comment was he talking about?
It was a little bit before.
What was that?
Let's go. So this goes on to Dan's thing for a new segment, Sonny's Toy Box. Sonny's Toy Box. Each episode, he reaches in the box and he pulls out a random toy body part, and you have to guess which figure it came from.
It's like guessing which one is slabbed, but only which body part is this?
Which body? Well, many of those parts are missing though. Like they're gone. The fingers, the tails. The fingers and tails, they've been gone for decades.
That's an awesome segment. I think that needs to happen. Gotta make it happen. Make it so.
The pieces are missing. They've been gone for like 30 years.
Make it so. All right, moving on. What is my next right or wrong question? Number 2, actually. The Marvel DC crossover of Deadpool and Batman was the worst choice on the Marvel side.
On Marvel side?
Yes. as in choosing Deadpool as the team up. Like, I would never put Deadpool with Batman. Never.
I will say wrong. I don't
Oh.
think it's the best choice, but I don't think it's the worst choice.
Well, the only thing worse would be Howard the Duck.
I was just gonna say you could have Howard the Duck, Sal.
Deadpool's a step above Howard the Duck for me.
All right, so
number 2, yep.
I
So
see.
Marvel's choice for the team up was the worst one ever. That's my number 2 question, right or wrong.
All right, and everyone else is also going with
wrong. Really? Oh man, I'm in the minority on this one.
Yeah.
Oh well, Liz is with me, right? Liz, come on, Liz. Be on my side, Liz.
Liz says, "I hate you." No, she doesn't.
Oh God,
she did not say that.
Wow. All right.
There was actually somebody named Jamie Wojcik who said it. No.
Oh,
he didn't say that either.
I was gonna say, did he probably come on and say something like, "Fine"?
No. Okay, so number 3.
Right. Question number 3. Dynamite spends way too much on their Ultimate covers.
Agree, yeah.
And from just doing the Variant Insanity, yeah. So the Variant Insanity right now, I'm going to tell you right now. Hold on. Just pull it up right now.
So I'll say right, yeah. So you're saying yeah, I'll say right.
Dynamite has 68% of the variant covers so far. From the beginning of the year till now. 68% of the time, it's been a Dynamite cover.
Wow. And when they've won by a lot of comic books too. So
yeah.
Liz had said, "I agree with Sal." LOL.
All right, thank you, Liz.
For number 3, Boosh and Boosh, Dan, and Mr. Keith all said right.
This is the variant one. Yeah,
Liz said agreed.
Okay.
Yes, everyone was going with the right.
All right, so
how could we really argue that one?
4. Yeah, you can't really argue. Question or right or wrong number 4. Godzilla's the new hot thing. He's going to be on every single cover, everywhere.
Agree. He is everywhere.
It is.
He's Ghost Rider. He's Ghost Rider Zilla. He's getting Venomized. He's
going to be Venomzilla.
Yeah, he's going to be everywhere.
A Zillum, or is it Venzilla? I think Venzilla is probably better.
Yeah, I think Venzilla.
All right.
That's was it number 4? Okay. Yeah, it was number 4. Mr. Keith that also said right.
Yep.
So let's see number 5.
All right. So question number 5. I have.
First for 4, Boosh said right, hopefully. Liz said right, and Dan also said right. We were all saying right.
All right, yeah. He is the hot thing right now. So, all right. Question number 5. Marvel's Ultimate Universe that's been going on right now. I feel like it's the long version of What If.
I'll say right. I see your point. Because obviously,
I think
it's not the 616, and yeah, it's kind of What If.
It's just the longest version of What If possible.
All right. So how about you all in the chat?
Yes. What do you think of that one? What do you think of that one? We don't care what Sonny thinks.
We all care what I think. That's it. Remember, I've been controlling the chat today, so if anybody says anything I disagree with, I can not give it a star.
Yeah. He can block you out or
I can not give it a star.
Not give it a star. Yep.
Okay. And Dan said wrong for number 5.
Wow. Okay.
Mr.
I thought he would agree with me.
Said right, and Boosh also said right. But he says he's not read too much of it.
I've only read Ultimate Spider-Man and a little bit of the Ultimates, but not too much. No answer because I've not read it at all.
Yeah.
All right, Liz. Pick a side, Liz. Come on. All right, so those are my 5 questions then. There you go.
Okay, then let's jump on to that first one. We could talk about it a little bit more. So the first one was the one about the mail call, right?
Christmas Day. It is.
Yeah, we were all saying right, except for there was one person who did not agree with us.
That's true. That would be Dan.
That would be Dan Kelly who had said wrong.
But mail calls. Wasn't there a mail call that you got today?
That's right, and it felt terrific. Getting that Superman for all seasons. But before Liz had said right, LOL. She chose the side. She chose the right side.
She did. She
Yeah, but
did.
Dan, I'm been interested as to hear why you don't think mail calls are like Christmas morning.
Yeah.
So it's not the same when you know what you're getting.
I could see that, but still, it's still you know, especially when you got like 3 or 4 boxes and you kind of forget because you're old and you don't remember what was in those boxes. Not to say that happened
I
to me.
don't know, Sale. I don't know. I don't know about being old, and I don't know about having boxes and boxes full of comic books. I get some, but I don't know about that. Maybe one day, I'll be like, Sale, I got 10 boxes today, but
Yeah.
today's not the day where I get 10.
Today is not that day. Yeah.
But yeah, but sometimes it could be like how Dan said, you know what you're gonna get, but do you? You never know. For me, I think, do they mess up? Am I gonna open it and then the book is like messed up? I'm like, great, now I
Right.
gotta return it. Or sometimes you get lots and it's like 25 random comics and you're kind of not too sure. Hopefully they're good.
Yeah. Right. Right. You never know.
Right. So, numero dos.
Numero dos. This was the Marvel DC crossover. I think that Deadpool was the worst choice to pair up with Batman.
Okay, and we had some were saying right, some were saying wrong. We were about mixed. I had said wrong. They said I don't think it's the best choice, but I think it could have been worse. And you took the words right out of my mouth when you said
Yeah.
it could have been Howard the Duck.
Okay, that's very true. I don't know. I just don't see the pairing of them together working as a story. I mean, I would just feel like Batman would be telling him to shut up the whole time.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone's kind of predicting, and
Yeah.
I think we're all going to be predicting pretty right. I don't really see it being like, wow, I didn't expect it to be like that. I think,
Or
like I said,
he would tie him to a gargoyle and just leave him there until he gets the mission done. Then he goes back. He'll go back to him and say, "It's all done now. Get out of my city."
yeah. But most of us are still going to check it out.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like
Like
just
I said, I will pick it up. I'll give it a fair shake, but I have a feeling that this is not going to work for me.
Yeah, I think as much as we're like, we'll still make sure to check it out. I hope it's a good one. I think it'd be fun, but I don't think it's going to be a must read.
Yeah.
Just more of cool to say, look, they crossed over.
Right. Okay.
So, number 3.
Number 3 was Dynamite spends too much on their alternate covers, which
We were all in
is true.
agreement.
Yeah, we don't
How
really
could there be an argument with that one?
187 variants for that one TMNT book, man. That was insane.
Yeah, maybe a billionaire's out there and it's like, well, that's not that much money.
Yeah, it's not that
but
much.
everybody else, we were like, it's way too much. In all those variants.
Yeah.
All right, number 4.
Number 4 was Godzilla. He's the new hot thing. He's going to be on every cover.
And we were all in agreement. We were all in agreement, and we all said right.
All right, so that's easy enough. All right, so I said the Marvel's Ultimate Universe is like a long version of What If.
Right. Some were saying right, some were saying wrong. I was more on I haven't been reading, so I don't want to like super strong on my right, but I can see your point. Like, yeah, so that's why I say right. Some people just say Dan had said wrong. Dan was the one who said wrong. Let's see if there's anybody else. Everyone else is saying right.
Oh, I think Sonny, you went out, or is it my headphones going out?
No, I
there you are.
Myself. Okay, all right. All right, and then you know what? There were some more comments going on as we were chatting, and then I was
okay.
When it came to number 2, Boo said, "Give the mailman milk and cookies."
Yep.
Those are for me, not for the mail person. I don't want to share. Risky said wrong.
Both Batman and Deadpool. True. I can understand that, Mr. Keith.
And Dan had said it could have been worse. It could have been Squirrel
Girl.
And you know what? I will agree with you, Dan. Yeah, I would not want it to be Squirrel Girl.
Where does Squirrel Girl fit? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so even. Liz would say, yeah, not seeing it. Bruce taking him seriously. Yeah. Yep. And Bruce should say, yeah, I would rather have Daredevil, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, but Deadpool is a good character, just overused.
Yeah, he is overused. He is.
And then when it did come to number 3, yeah, Mr. Keith said, right, how many covers per book? Yes, Marvel and DC investing in each month.
Right, right. So from what I've seen,
Number
Marvel and
5, Dan
DC,
said it's like an Elseworlds.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's like it is Elseworlds. So for the variant covers, the number of variants that Marvel and DC have,
And Liz, I
for
like What Ifs too.
yeah, yeah, I do like the what ifs. They're good, but I like the fact that they were contained stories type of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bruce said, yeah, I've not read much other than also Spider-Man, but I can see what you mean.
So from what I've seen from the variant covers for Marvel and DC, they usually run about 8 to 12 variants on bigger books or the hot stories at the time. Like this week, Amazing Spider-Man, I think had 10 variants. Last week, I thought Absolute Batman, was going to win it because it was like 15 variants or 13 variants a kit. But then, of course, it didn't win out. As soon as you get to the Dynamite section of the list, I'm like, oh well, there we go. We're done there. It's a done deal. But
Of course, it was
on a
Thundercats
whole,
that beat
yeah,
Batman last week.
true. On a whole, I would say there's not many variants for Marvel DC. On an average time, like nothing big or nothing special, it's between 2 and 5 variants for an issue. And not everybody gets a variant. I'm just saying there's a few issues. But then there's like that one week where it's a key or it's a major storyline, then they'll get about 10, maybe 15. So, but unfortunately, they always lose out.
Yeah. So, all right, Sal. Those were the 5 statements for right or wrong.
There you go. There you go.
And now, Sal, you can give us some more questions. What time is it?
It is slab time. Which one is slabbed? All right, folks. This is the slab version where I'm going to show you a picture of 3 books. I've got 3 sets of pictures, so you're going to choose which one it is. You can say A, B, or C from going right to left if on the picture. But our first set of books, of course, is a Venom book. So which of these do I have slabbed?
I'm gonna go with the one. It's to my left, so it has like actual Venom in the middle.
The white cover, Death
Yep.
of the Venomverse,
Yep. Yeah.
with the red spider on top.
Yep. That is the one I'm going with.
Okay, very good, very good. That would be the A book.
Okay.
I'll say letter A. Not that that's the like the A cover. No, actually, I think that is the A cover. To tell you the truth, just so happens it is the A cover.
Mr. Keith says C. Boosh
Oh,
also says
correction.
C.
Correction, the C cover is the actual A cover. Liz went
Okay.
with B. Yeah, that's a good one too.
So B. Okay. So for now, we're just saying like A, B, and C. But okay, so I said A. Liz said B. Mr. Keith and Boosh both said C.
Yep, yep. All right, so we'll hold off on the winners on that until we show all the books because all the winners are on the last slide. So we're going to now jump to our next set of books. And this is Symbiote Spider-Man. Some more Venom action, or a little bit of Venom action. A, B, or C on this one.
I like those. I like those. You know what? I think even the one A might be my favorite. It kind of reminds me like the animated series. But
Yeah.
which one I think is that? I think they're all great covers. For some reason, I'm seeing B. I'm gonna guess B, the one in the middle, kind of above the city.
All right. That is a cool cover.
Let's see. Well, waiting to hear. Anybody
Yep.
want to take a guess? A
Yeah,
stab at it?
It's like a 10-second delay with people.
Mr. Keith is going with C.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about that one
yeah.
too. I'm thinking if I should switch or if I should just keep. I think I'm just gonna keep.
All
the
great
B.
covers. All great covers. I think one of these times they're going to have it where they're all slabbed.
Liz says B again, and Booge had also said A.
Okay.
So someone's gonna have to be right.
Yep. Someone's got to be right. Could be C. You never know. All right. So we jump to our next set of books.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Secret Wars, the original series. Number 10, number 4, and number 3. Which one of these do I have slabbed?
Let's
A,
see.
B, or C?
I really don't.
B is number 4, and C is number 3.
I was thinking about possibly B. I'm certainly not going with C, but I'm going to go with A. I'm going to go with the one with Doctor Doom.
That is a wicked cover.
Yeah.
Beneath 100.
Booge is like me, and
Billion tons
he's
stand
also
tall.
going with A.
He is not happy. He's not happy.
And Mr. Keith is out. Yeah, Mr. Keith says A definitely. Liz said A. Mr. Keith said it can only be A.
Okay.
I do agree. Boosh saying those are 3 rad covers.
They are, Boosh. They are indeed.
And then Mr. Keith says, I've just now bet $1,000 on A.
Wow, Mr. Keith.
But with the odds, you won't be gaining too much money if it is A, because it's very heavily favored.
You have a 33 and a third chance.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Those are our 3 sets of books. We'll go over one more time. This was the first one, all the Venom ones, Death of the Venomverse. Then we had Symbiote Spider-Man. And then we had Secret Wars. Okay. And now for...
I went with ABA. Okay.
All right, now for the winning books.
Come on, Sonny. Oh.
Ooh,
wow, we were all very sure it was not C for the Secret Wars. Yep. Okay. I got 2. So that means it was A, B, C.
That's right.
Right?
Yep. That is correct. That is correct. The Death of the Venomverse is a 9-8. So is that Symbiote Spider-Man. I think the Secret Wars one is a 9-6. I have to re-look that up. But yeah, I picked that one up pretty cheap, so it's not definitely not a 9-8. See if this is it. Yeah, it's actually a 9.2. So I picked that up pretty cheap.
So looking at it, Sal, I'm happy to announce that I am the winner. I got you right.
Your prize is in the mail. And your prize is in the mail. You have won a paper towel roll. Here you go, sir. It is on the way to you right now.
I already have that one.
Well, this is a variant. This is a variant, let me tell you. So
if it's slabbed, I'm only expecting it to be 9.8.
Hold on a second. I'll get it slabbed for you. Now it's slabbed. All right. There you go. There's what is slabbed for you.
All right.
I love that segment.
Yeah, well, now I know. Yeah, Boosh said Wolverine's wearing his best costume.
Very true, Boosh.
I love that one. All right, Sal. Now that I've seen, we've done Fear and Insanity, Which One Is Slabbed, I can show us the random panel of the week.
All right, yeah. Show the random panel of the week. You got it? You want me to throw it up?
And there it is. Boom. All right, look at that. Who do you want to read? Do you want to read the boy with the hat or the other boy?
I want to do the boy with the hat.
Okay. Go ahead.
Wait till I tell my dad that I actually touched your hammer.
And the other boy said, come on, give someone else a chance. I'm next.
I'm not impressed with this hammer whatsoever.
You know you are. That's why you had to read it, saying, wait till I tell my dad that I actually touched your hammer. So there you go.
Cap's just chilling in the background. Look at Cap. He's just chilling. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I touch it every night.
Yeah. Oh, man. And it's okay. This can only better me as a person. That's right. You know, if anything, you'd say, hey, I lost to the Sonny Kruger. There's no shame in that. But yeah, speaking of touching Thor's hammer, come on. We've all wanted to touch Thor's hammer before. We've all wondered, can we pick up Thor's hammer? I think I can. I think if I went to touch Thor's hammer, I'd be able to pick it up.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I don't think I would. I'm not worthy. We're not worthy.
But would you try to pick up Thor's hammer?
Nah, because I wouldn't touch his hammer. Everybody's touched his hammer. I'm not touching it.
Well, would you at least rub it or something?
Whoa, now, hey, now. We're crossing over that line there. Would I rub the hammer? No.
Okay, Molnir has
Let me get some
feelings
latex.
too.
Let me get some latex gloves out.
Molnir has feelings too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yep. Watch
And
that
then
last Thor movie. It does.
Boost says Thor is a registered offender in 2 different realms.
That's good. I'm so not worthy.
Listen to
You
me,
can be.
yeah.
You can sit right. You can sit right next to me, Liz. We'll be on that same couch.
But you can try. You can touch his hammer and see and say, okay, I tried. You know, and then everybody can go back. We could tell everybody, hey, see that movie? I touched his hammer. Well, these boys, yes, there we go. One more time. These boys are very happy. Is one, yeah. Wait till I tell my dad that I actually touched your hammer. Come on, give someone else a chance. I'm next.
Well, he's actually borderline a little bit, you know, getting a little too obsessive there. He's like, how long is he touching it for?
Yeah, that boy, he's ready to fight to get to it. Well, who
Yeah.
knows how long that kid was just standing there rubbing it?
Yeah. Thor's not even smiling. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Touch my hammer.
Mr. Kid says, touch it enough, it starts flying back to you.
Good one.
Always good fun with Random Panel of the Week.
Absolutely.
Now, Sal, I will let you take over again since you made the stuff for what's next.
It's the F list.
That is right.
Yes. All right, here we go with the F list intro, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are with the F list, the Rainbow Raiders. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to kick up the team shot.
There they are.
A team shot. There we go.
There they are.
Taking a shot. Here we got a little battle action here.
Getting beat up.
Yep.
Literally, that's how their noise is. They're getting beat up.
Wow.
If you see, even there's a random guy punching one of them.
Yep. There's Flash there, huh?
Yeah.
So this is one of the guys there. Sonny, do you know what all their names are?
Okay, so let me get on to their names. The Rainbow Raiders. First, there is Green, who is green.
Green. That's it.
There is Yellow, who is yellow.
Oh, okay. I got you because we're doing a rainbow thing here.
There's Orange, who's orange.
Yeah.
But do you know this character? Blue, who is actually appears to be white. Yeah.
Or gray. I don't know. Gray?
Yeah. Oh, like a white gooey thing and named Blue. And then there's this one who's in a blue outfit, kind of looking very mysterious. His name is Indigo.
Okay.
And then there's Red.
There's Red.
Who's red and has a red ponytail. And then there is Violet, who's wearing violet.
This is like the Aldi version of the the Spectrum Guild.
And as you see right here, there was when they were they had a funeral, and then there you go, or Violet, yeah, Violet. It's Computron, who's the flying head that bumped into Violet. And as you see, Blue is like, hey, what about us? Why are we always getting forgotten? And Red's like, shut up, Blue. He was just about to say something. And Orange is like, yeah, all the rogues get their due, Red. Why shouldn't the new Rainbow Raiders? And that's when Computron bumped into Indigo and said, watch it, Indigo. And she said, I'm Violet, Computron. And then the guy back said, I'm Indigo.
I'm Indigo. I wonder if you'd like something like that, man. I'm Indigo.
Yeah.
Dude, what type of power set do these guys have?
Powers that go with their colors.
Okay. Getting beat up a lot.
You're getting beat up a lot. And, before we get to it, let me have you take a guess as to the story, the history.
Oh, God.
The Rainbow Raiders.
All right. So since it's DC, I'm going to say that the light spectrum of all the other, power rig groups
Real quick, we got some comments, Sal. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Before we
Go
get, so there's a lot, yeah. Mr.
Go
Keith
ahead.
said, looks like me and my crew before C2E2. Am I right, guys? I'm sure you're better than these people, though, Mr. Keith. Boo said, broccoli girl. Better name than green.
Yeah.
For blue, I'll just say he had something that some of us guys wear when certain times, when we got to do certain things to avoid other things from happening.
Right.
Sometimes late at night, sometimes maybe around 12. Mr. Keith said,
12.
do they all have to stand in a circle to zip each other up into their costumes? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
All right, so still, there's the comments.
Okay.
I'll let you
very
tell
good.
the great history of this team.
Oh God! So my guess is, like the Green Lantern Corps, this, the Fear Corps, the Green, everybody. There was open tryouts one day. You just walk up, hey, would you like to try out, be part of the Green Lantern Guild, Green Lantern Corps, and they failed. So they went to the Aldi store and picked up stuff with their powers. I like Broccoli Girl because I think that fits. So Broccoli Girl ate some radiated broccoli, and red guy, I don't know. It looks like a football player that's been, should have been like retired a couple of years ago. Orange, he's just, I don't know. He's good at cookouts. Let's put it that way. He's great. He's fun at like campfires. Violet, I don't know, failed as ninja assassin. The blue guy that was like, I'm indigo. Yeah, no guess on him. He found a blue suit on sale one day and bought it because everybody else was in colors. I guess the goo guy, the blue guy. I'm not sure if he's blue or white. He looks white.
Yeah, so in most pictures he's white, except for in this image he appears blue. Finally, they decided to make blue.
Yeah. Looks like they could have spent a little bit more on the coloring on the pages. Let me tell you that much. I don't know. I got it. He is State Puff Marshal of Man's long lost cousin.
There you go. All right. And then let's see. Even Liz says, "I have never heard, I've never even heard of these people."
Neither have I. So I would say 90% of the time when somebody shows me the F-listers, I have no clue who they are. Take a shot of generic soda before the battle.
Yeah, I like that one,
soda. That's not soda.
I like the one, Boo. Take a shot of generic soda before the battle. Ready? They're not even getting ready for a battle in that image.
Nope.
Okay, so these characters, they are, the Rainbow Raiders, and they are, like I said, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. They're created by Jeff Johns, Kurt Busiek, and Howard Porter. Their first appearance was in The Flash, Volume 2, issue number 217. And also, in their last appearance was in the Untold Tales of Blackest Night, number 1. That's when they took their drink. So here we go. The characters. Here's what they did in The Flash. So obviously they're villains. They don't do much, and they were also taking on the JLA. One thing that was big with them was they were taking on the crime syndicate. So when it looks like it's the Flash and Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, that is actually Johnny Quick and Power Ring.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was that. They were taking on them. Because before in that Flash appearance, they weren't in there too much. But then this one in JLA, issue 110, they were in there quite a bit. And at one part, they were even starting to put up a pretty good fight against Johnny Quick and Power Ring. Until random people got so mad at it, they thought they were beating up, the regular Flash and Green Lantern. As you can see, there's a guy punching Green/Broccoli. There's a random guy punching her. As you see, Indigo's choking a random person. So random people got so fed up with it. And then Johnny Quick and Power Ring were like, wait a minute, what are we doing? We could take these guys. And then they started using their brains. And as we see, look at them beating all of them up, knocking them into each other. Yeah, and they were defeated.
Yeah.
However, this was at Captain Boomerang. Yeah, the Flash the Flash 217
All right.
was dealing with the funeral of Captain Boomerang, and this is what was happening. Captain Boomerang's service, and they were there, and as we could see, they were nobody was even recognizing who they are. Like Computron even said, we have watch it Indigo. So that's
Yeah.
what they had going on. But eventually, like I said, they were taking on Johnny Quick and Power Ring. Lost.
Yeah.
We're not doing so good. And then came Blackest Night. And in Untold Tales of the Blackest Night, number 1, it's a one shot. It was Red who was leading the team, and Red said, "Hey, we want to be on the winning side." So they all took these drinks, and that was the end of them. However, they were not chosen to join the Black Lantern Corps.
Oh.
So, since the end of 2010, this team, the Rainbow Raiders, are still dead.
And the world's a better place.
It is, yeah, because they were bad. They were not a good team. They were not very good villains. And like I said, yeah, they're dead. And yeah, there's kids that they couldn't just name their team the Jello Shots. And then
that would have been better.
The Not Shots.
The Not Shots.
I do like the name Broccoli for green. So yeah, these are
she looks like broccoli. She does look like broccoli.
Yeah, with the hair especially, yeah. You can see, yeah. But I really wonder is what was going on, why it was decided that blue wouldn't be white.
Because he was standing next to a blue guy. That's why.
Yes, there you go.
The Indigo guy.
His name's Blue because he stands next to a guy wearing blue. Yeah, that is true.
But that's him right there, containing Power Ring guy.
Water.
Right?
Yep. So yeah, see, like the power.
So he's got a water-based power.
Yeah. So him because he's blue, it's with water. Because green is green, it's like leaves and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Orange is like fire. Yellow's lightning. So yeah, the powers went with their color.
Gotcha.
And then yeah, Bruce says according to that picture, that Jimmy has sprung a leak.
Sprung a leak, baby.
And if you see, there's a guy with an axe. I think he caused that. So ooh.
So normal people are taking them out.
Yeah, normal people were doing it, and that's when Johnny Quick and Power Ring said, "Wait a minute, what is going on? How are we having trouble with these guys?" And then that's when they changed it around, stopped messing around, and within a few panels, beat the whole team.
Bam.
Yeah, and then like I said, they decided to end themselves, thinking they would join the Black Lantern Corps. They were not chosen, so they are still dead. To this day, they're dead. So, Sal, I say that the Rainbow Raiders, you know what? It's Pride Month, and we're seeing a lot of rainbow colors. I accept all kinds of people. Yeah, that means all kinds of people get accepted into the F list, and that includes this team, the Rainbow Raiders. No one is safe from the F list unless you're not an F list character.
That is so true. They are not coming off that list whatsoever.
The only one I could possibly see is Indigo. You know, let's see. Yeah, there's not too many images of him, but he's a bit more mysterious. A bit. Let me get that one where he looks a little more.
Well, the other
right
he's
there.
Choking that guy. He's like choking that guy.
Yeah, I think he's the only one. I'm gonna say Indigo is the one who has a chance to get out.
So who's Lightning? She's frying somebody over there. Looks like Jim Gordon.
That is Yellow. Yellow has the electric powers. Yeah. Yellow's not too weak because there's Yellow being named Johnny Quick.
Hey, I'm Yellow.
Yeah.
Hi. I do lightning too.
Yeah. Just say that. Yeah. I'm Yellow Raider. I do lightning, electricity, speed. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Yellow.
And Booge says they belong somewhere over the rainbow on the F list. Yeah. Booge, you get yourself a star. That is good. And that is where they shall remain. Said Indigo, if Indigo wants to get out, gonna have to leave that team. But for right now, the Rainbow Raiders, all of them.
Not only is to like leave the team, but he's got to change his name too.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, maybe he's kind of covered up, so maybe he can take off the hat, change that identity, and then one day, like 20 years after he's been established, can say, "Hey, I have a dark past. I was a member of the Rainbow Raiders."
Right.
With broccoli / green and red, orange, yellow, indigo, blue, who was white and took my name. But yeah,
crazy.
Rainbow Raiders. They're on the F list.
They are. Boom! F list.
All right, Sal. And now it's time for a story that does not feature the F list, but features many A-listers. I say it's time for our review of The King in Black. It was 1 through 5, the full story. So let me start off. Let me start off with some things. The King in Black. The writer Donny Cates, the penciler Ryan Stegman, and it says the number 5's inkers was J.P. Meyer with Ryan Stegman, and it says number 5's color artists were Frank Martin with Jason Keith. VC's Clayton Cowles was the letterer, and the cover artists were Ryan Stegman, J.P. Meyer, and Frank Martin. All right, so this is the big event that happened a few years ago, The King in Black.
Yes.
It continues. There was many stuff leading up to it, including a story we also reviewed in the Codex podcast. It was Absolute Carnage. Jimmy had picked that a few years ago.
Yeah, another good one.
I loved it. So, and then one day I wanted to get to The King in Black, and, well, the day came.
That day is today.
Yeah, the day came, just like the superheroes were preparing for it, and then Null came with his dragons, but the Avengers, Venom, they were ready, but not so ready because it was a bit more than everyone expected. But man, this is an all-star story. This is a huge event. It isn't just it's pretty good. This is a true event, and you see the big stars. Obviously, Venom, Eddie Brock. You got his son in there, Dylan Brock, and there's some emotional moments with the two. I like Eddie Brock saying certain things that obviously this is a huge story. There's not going to be a King in Black that we're dealing with in life. However, I like the relatability that they put in with Eddie Brock saying, "Oh, I don't want to pass on my demons to my son. I don't want to do that. I want to make it that he can have a nice future." I like that. I like that in there. But then too action-packed, like I said, a huge event. Sal, we were talking earlier, like on the pre-show, we said that there are many spin-offs. Like the omnibus is like over 1,500 pages.
Yeah.
You can check those out, but you don't need those for the story. I haven't read the spin-offs, but I was still completely caught up with the story. I didn't feel lost in any moment. So everybody's going against Nolan. Except we got, obviously, Venom. We got the Avengers. We got the X-Men. We got Sentry, who, comes in there. One surprising part, there's a lot of moments, too, like, whoa. With the Celestials being taken over by the symbiotes.
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
Right.
And then Sentry, Bob, comes in just taking him out, but then takes on Null. And there was one thing I was a little like, I know how powerful Sentry is, but you see, whoa, that Null is on another level. And it's a huge event. Every character, obviously Spider-Man's in there as well. Thor comes in. I gotta say, Thor had a nice moment. I think one of the highlights for me was punching Null's jaw off.
Yeah.
Great fight between the two. Even later on, I admit I was very hyped up when there was issue 3, when there's somebody narrating it, and then who is it? And then at the end, I am here, and it was the Silver Surfer. So I had that awesome image. So many great things about this story. Like I said, huge event. And Sal, I know you. I like Venom, but I know you're one of the big fans. So I'm curious as to some of your views on this story.
So, obviously, I like this story. It was a really good story. I believe that it really had some growth for Eddie Brock because he kind of goes out of the Venom role to something bigger, something more, powerful and stuff like that. So he does die in this story, but he comes back, more powerful.
Give him a little light.
Give him a little light. I'm not sure how much we're going to spoil it. So we spoiling this or what?
So we're going to be going through it. I mean, if you feel that I usually don't like to talk about endings, but should we put that warning out there now?
Spoiler.
spoiler alert, we are going to go through it. And do you feel like mentioning the ending?
I will. It doesn't matter. I will.
Okay,
I will.
so then the spoilers we will be mentioning beginning, like the middle, and even we may bring up the ending. So here's that
Right.
spoiler.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And
Goodbye.
so, like you said in the beginning, he arrives on Earth and he is just like no hesitation. He is starting to wipe out stuff left and right. He's brought the symbiote dragons with him. The Avengers are clearly outgunned,
He even says,
and
"I'm going to kill your world."
yeah, they're going to kill your world type situation. So, uh, Sentry does get killed. He gets snapped in half by him, by Null, and it's just gruesome, but it's pretty cool. And it sets Null apart because he is like now a cosmic level threat type of villain. I think you know.
Yeah, take out Sentry.
So
Yeah,
he uh, Eddie tries to um, end it early by dropping into the symbiote hive mind. Now, I'm not sure how many people really follow along Venom, but the story has now progressed a little bit in the Venom symbiote lifespan. The symbiotes were all part of a hive mind now. Okay, so they were all connected to each other, and that's how Null controls them because he controls them through the hive mind. And so he tries to, you know, jump into the hive mind early. Null beats him and rips the symbiote right off of him and then drops him off a skyscraper. Bye bye.
yeah.
So
I wasn't looking for
and
you. Yeah, because and how Eddie had
yeah,
said too, like, okay, I'll
yeah,
give up myself, and then as
yeah,
he has him, like, I wasn't looking for you. You're not the
yeah,
Brock I wanted. I wanted
yeah.
your son Dylan Brock.
Right, your son Dylan. Right. So and then during the storyline, Dylan does take over the Venom symbiote as well, and I thought that was a good pairing because I thought that's the way they were going to take the new Venom as it is now, but it is not. So they went a different direction than I was hoping, but that's neither here nor there. Anyhow, so by the third issue, the resistance starts to get a little bit better, and Reed Richards there, Blaze there, they all have a counterattack plan. Thor returns, he's pissed. He gets in the fight with Null. He actually wounds Null, like you said. But in true Kate's fashion, that's a false victory. You can know that he's just gonna Noel's gonna come back and start whooping some butt, and um, that's where he releases the celestial on the into the mix, and it's just you know crazy celestial power type situation. So and he dies, and he goes. His soul is dragged into the hive mind, and he's fully severed from his body. But this is where actually he meets the uh, Captain Universe powers. I believe it is Captain Universe.
Yep,
Yes, Captain
that's
Universe
what Reed
powers.
said.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right. I forgot the name of it there for a second. So, and this is like the return of this is what you were saying earlier, the light that shines the way type of situation. So now that he comes back, he's a supercharged like Venom symbiote type situation. He's got the glowing eyes. This is what you were seeing earlier before and all the other pictures with the glowing eyes, the super powered up powers, and he meets up with the resistance on Earth that's doing one final push that's led by Dylan and Cap. So the Enigma Force, that's the name of it, the Enigma Force. I gotta look at my notes. Look at your notes, Sam. Let's look at your notes, Al. You need to look at your notes. So Brock gets into the fight with Null, right? And he just totally dismantles
I like that was
Null.
he was able to get Thor's hammer,
Yeah.
Mjolnir, and use the Silver Surfer surfboard and turn
Mhm.
it into like a sword and combine
Right.
it.
Right. Exactly. That was pretty wicked. And he frees all the symbiotes that are under Null's control, and Brock becomes the new King of Black, and that is just way crazy. It's really cool, and that's when Dylan now goes on his own journey, possibly become the new Venom at that point. So, I mean, Stegman crushes it for art. The Celestial Symbiote Dragons, the Thor's Rage, even the Eddie Null showdown. That was it was
Yeah,
explosive artwork for me. It was amazing. It was really good, and everything feels like sharp, cinematic type of feeling. And when Eddie becomes the Cosmic Venom, easily one of the most iconic visuals in the Marvel events. Easily. So yeah, like you said, there's a lot of father son uh, dynamic in this, which is really good.
Here's
And
that image of Thor.
yeah, Thor taking out his jaw. Woo.
Yeah.
I had to read it all online. I couldn't find my issue, so I had to read it all online the past couple of days. And
Yeah.
I'm like furiously taking notes. I'm like, I got to mention this because I can't forget this. That
Even
type
to
of
that
thing.
Silver Surfer image right there.
Yeah, that's wicked. Look at that.
That one had me super excited.
Yeah. So, um, yep. So he's the father son thing. At its heart, this is Eddie's story. He is his redemption, his death, his rebirth as a protector. That whole situation. Um, he's now like the symbiote god of freedom. So for a while there, he was the king of black. He not that he controlled all the symbiotes, but he was in touch with all the symbiotes. I think he didn't really control too much of them per se, not like Null does. He controlled a few of them when he needed a symbiote that he would have one, but he didn't control them in a way that Null did. That type of situation. So I think this really elevates Venom from like a street level anti-hero to more of a Marvel cosmic heavyweight. You know?
Oh yeah, 'cause, yeah, especially like I said, when to see what Null did to Sentry, and then to
Yeah,
see that Venom was able to beat Null.
yeah, exactly. So you really, like I said, you're not going to miss out too much by not reading the offshoots. If you haven't read the Cade's Venom run, you might need you might miss a lot of context there, but you know, you don't really. It's not 100% needed to follow the story and enjoy it. The storytelling is tight. There's massive stakes. There's emotional payoff, and there's no wasted issues. Like I didn't
No.
feel like oh, issue 3 was a filler issue type of thing, just to move the plot along. I didn't feel like that at all.
Like I
So
said, for being such a huge event, it's technically only 5 issues. Like I said, not counting spin-offs,
right,
it's 5. It didn't take
right.
12 or anything like that. 5 issues, and yeah, so
Yeah, I thought
all
5
fast
issues was
paced.
pretty good. Yeah, I thought 5 issues was pretty good. Let me just see if I missed anything on my notes that I wanted to say. No, I think I got it right there. Good. Yeah, I covered that. So yes, there you go. So do I give my rating now, or do I turn it over to you for your?
All right, let's see. For like highlights of me, yeah, many things. Like I said, storytelling terrific, the artwork terrific, everything like top notch, awesome. Like I said, feels like an event. And like you said, Sal, the stakes are super high. This
Yeah,
is when like, okay, this is gonna have what's going on in here. People will be talking about for a long time. This was the big event of the year when it came out. Null is a new character. Like, okay, what we see is not just a pretty good villain. To take out Sanctuary is
right.
like, okay,
It's
he's
epic.
one of the
Yeah,
most powerful. And like I said,
right.
Venom, I felt he's already become pretty big, but now he's even like Omega level strong, especially with being the Captain Universe powers
Right.
to take out and all. Yeah. For me, I think this is an awesome one. I highly recommend it. I think, for me, I was like, okay, I want to read the story. Reading it, I was into it. I was like, okay, next issue, next issue. So nowadays, maybe when it came out, obviously we have to wait month by month. But now you can just, if you can get it all, like I said, I just got a trade, and it was like 10 or $12. So I was next issue, and I got through it pretty fast. I love this one.
Yeah.
I love this story. I look forward to coming back to it again. I said I read it and was like, okay, now I'll go over it again before we review it, and I was happy to. Barely any little things that I don't like about it. I mean, like I said, I love the action, I love the story, I love the artwork.
Yes.
Only 2 little things. Well, I say 3 little things. One was in
One.
issue number 1. There was a
Yeah.
part. Let me read it real quick. But real quick, let me show you some great artwork. I thought that was cool how they announced King in Black.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
But when it was coming down to the dragons, it said, it means Null and his armies of dragons have broken the perimeter of Earth and make landfall. I would say it should be and made landfall, because if you said they've broken the perimeter, you know,
Perimeter.
so yeah, this is the way I talk, so
I know. I'm
you
just
know,
trying to make sure I understand you.
yeah, but see how it says like broken the perimeter of Earth and make landfall. It should be they've and made. At least the way I
All
read it.
right, come on. That's minor. Just throw that one
But
out.
I'm a
Come on.
writer. I'm a writer. I hate every little. I have to catch that stuff because I'm like, you're top notch, and I expect top, because especially when you know that it's Donny Cates, who is top notch, who makes these amazing stories. And there was one part in 3 where the artwork for so many awesome images. There was one
Yeah.
part with Dylan Brock. If you look at him in the back, and it almost, because obviously he's not the main person in the panel, and
Right.
it almost looks like he has a beard. I'm like, they maybe went a little too fast on that. But like I
Maybe.
said, when you're having so much fun, the story's so good, you kind of think, oh, okay, that's a little teeny bit. And then the one thing is, I do say I don't like when big characters are killed, like
Yeah.
Sanctuary. It was a cool part, a cool fight, like a good, like, oh man, Sanctuary's taking him on, and then like, oh, you see Noel's strength. I don't like to see characters get killed like that, especially because now if you're like, oh man, Sanctuary's so tough, he's not that tough because he just got ripped apart by Noel. That was the only part of the story that I didn't care for. But like I said, it's super awesome. I highly recommend it. I say go check out The King in Black. You'll be entertained from beginning to end. Like I said, the teeny little, 2 little teensy weensy things, but it's not enough to, I think, stop most people from reading what is a
Right.
fun story, a fun ride. This is a huge event. This is Venom at his best. I, Sonny Kruger, on the Codex Podcast with the Codex Station. Sal usually wishes you a 9.8 day. I give The King in Black a 9.8 out of 10.
Ooh, very good. Very
Like I said,
good.
the teensy weensy things, little things, stop it from being the 10. But I absolutely love it and saying it's an amazing story.
All right.
How about you, Slab Guy?
Well, I'm gonna have to pull a card from your deck and go. I give it a 10 out of 10.
There we go. Me and Sal switch for the day. So the
Yes.
King in Black.
I really did enjoy the story. You hit all the points. It was good storytelling. It was never a boring moment. And from start to finish, you were engaged the whole time.
Yeah. And I must say, a very strong ending. Endings mean a lot to me. And I was extremely satisfied with the end. I love it because a lot of times stories either I'm really high or going there, and I'm like, the ending is going to really matter to me. Either if my rating goes up or down. And that really pushed it up for me. I'm like, I love the ending.
Yep.
And Bruce said this is a pretty good story.
So we got a couple of offshoots that I read. I read King of Black, Black Knight, which was good. I read King of Black, Iron Man, Doom, which was good. There's also Planet of the Symbiotes, Return of the Valkyries, King of Black, Scream, which was actually really good because I like Scream character. And of course, there was Amazing Spider-Man, King of Black, as well. So those are the ones I have that I did collect.
Nice. So an all-star cast. He's in all those characters appear in this story, like I said, in Spider-Man and Iron Man, and everybody. So
Yep.
It's top-notch story. Like I said, today me and Sal switched, and I went with the 9.8, and Sal went with the 10 out of 10 for the King
Had to.
in Black.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So all right, we could start wrapping this show up. And you know what? Next week we'll be celebrating another anniversary for Codex because on June 9th will be 4 years ago that we premiered the first episode of the Codex podcast.
Yes.
So we've got other stuff going on too. Sal, tell everybody again what is going on tomorrow and who's the comic character of the week.
Tomorrow, comic character of the week. Oh crap! I am prepared.
It looks like you got your winter coat next to you. You're ready.
Got my Parker ready right there. So yes, tomorrow, comic character of the week is Captain Cold. So we'll be going over badass moments, top covers, must read stories, and so much more for him. There's lots of good stuff. He's the member of the Rogues Gallery.
Thank you, Boosh. Always appreciate it.
So he's a member of the Flash's Rogue Gallery, and he is a villain with a code of honor.
So check it out tomorrow. Yes, it's some of those best covers, recommended stories, everything. And you said 9 p.m.
Yeah, yes.
And I'll try to jump on in the chat and be along with all of you in the chat.
There you go. Join us for a chill moment. Oh.
Ooh.
What I did there?
Careful with those shirts that nobody, shows through your shirt since it's so cold.
That's true.
Wear some big stuff. Wear heavy clothes,
tight t-shirts or something like that.
Yeah, watch out with those heavy t-shirts. It's getting cold.
That's cool.
And Bruce said, yeah, Captain Cole, nice. And Mr. Keith says, great show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Keith. So then Saturday night will be our Comics Unleashed show, which is our usual weekly pools and any back issues that we had picked up for that week.
Yes, so make sure to enjoy, show everything you got. Any little hints or previews that you can give?
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. Okay.
Hold on 1 second. What's up? Yes, I can. I got to turn on the patio lights. Computer, turn on the patio lights.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
There you go, Sal.
She's a night bouncer. She likes to go out and bounce on the trampoline before going to bed. Don't know why, but it's her thing.
Sal, I got news for you. We're about to end the show. You can go jump on that trampoline too.
Oh man!
And I expect pictures and video of it. But again, I'm Sonny Kruger. I was joined by Sal the Slab Guy. We are from the Code X station. This is the Code X podcast. Thank you all for joining. I shall see you all next week. Sal will see you tomorrow on Comic Character of the Week. I hope you all have a week that is a 10 out of 10.